Hey there internet, I got an Xbox One. I know I said I was going to wait, but I had an ability to get one for $400, so I kind of jumped at the possibility. Essentially what happened was I was looking online about the Xbox One, you know, looking up all the crazy sales stuff, and apparently the Toys R Us in Times Square had them in stock. I went to the Toys R Us store, I took a video of it, it didn't come out very well, so I'm not going to show it. And I got the Xbox One, took the controller, sold it on eBay, and took the achievement, sold it on eBay, and I got an Xbox One for around $400. So it worked out pretty well. I know the Xbox One wouldn't have dropped that low for a really long time, especially considering the fact that the manufacturing cost of an Xbox One currently is around $470 to $480, maybe $460. So I know the price wasn't going to drop too low because they're practically selling the console at a deficit, planning on you buying games at launch. I bought the console. It works pretty well. I like it a lot. The Kinect is very cool, but there are some weird things that have been happening, and I felt like I should mention it in the video. The things that have been happening is I look apparently a lot like my brother. He looks like me when I was a lot younger. And what happens is the Kinect signs me out. When I'm playing Killer Instinct, while I'm in an online match, it'll see him walk up behind me and it'll be like, oh, pop up with the thing, hi Joseph, sign me out, sign him in, and then it'll kick me out of the game because it'll say a sign-in status changed. Now that should only happen if I were to take my controller and hand it to him, but I'm not handing him the controller, so I don't know why it's doing this to me. Also, if I do get out of my chair, I have a mesh back chair, so maybe it messes up the Kinect somehow. It recognizes my chair as my brother as well. So if I get out of my chair when I'm playing to go get a drink or something, once again it'll sign me out and sign him in, and then it'll kick me off whatever game I was searching for or waiting to happen. I mean, also the fact that every time I say Xbox, it does kind of turn on or some feature happens or something like that. I thought I was going to turn on right now because I said that sentence really close together. But yeah, anytime you mention the word Xbox and then a command or any sentence, it'll probably pick it up. Even if you're in a Skype call saying the word Xbox, it'll bring up the thing. So it gets kind of annoying. Also, for some reason, at least with Killer Instinct, matchmaking is kind of weird in the sense where it works perfectly fine if you stay in the game. But as Microsoft, you know, tried to sell us, if you get out of the game and you press the dashboard jewel on the Xbox One controller, it'll bring you out. You can open up Netflix, which I do, and I was watching like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and it popped up with a thing. It was like, oh, you know, you got a game to join in Killer Instinct. Hold the button for details. I hold the button, click join. I'm still searching. It does this to me 5 times before it stops for some reason. Literally 5. I don't know. It just, you know, maybe it's a little buggy. I don't know, it'll just do it 5 times in a row and then it'll stop, and then when I find the actual game, it won't really alert me. So what I have to do is I have to have, you know, Killer Instinct up, and then I have Netflix in the corner with the snap feature, which is pretty cool, but, you know, it's kind of a hassle to have to watch something this small on a 24-inch monitor, because it gets carved down to like 3 or 4 inches wide, and then I just can't really see shit. Plus the volume control isn't there yet, where you can't control game volume over snapped application volume, so I'd like that in the future as well. But, you know, you can't really change that for now. There's 2 more things. People don't know their Kinects are on. And because of this, I've heard all sorts of things. I've heard family discussions. I've heard kids getting yelled at to get off their Xbox. A weird thing where no one realizes that their Kinects are on when they're playing a game online, and it'll automatically make their Kinect pick up their voice. You have to disable that in a feature, and if they don't go into the setting to disable it, they're going to be heard. So, you know, people, please turn off your Kinects. I don't want to hear your family discussions while I'm fighting you in Killer Instinct. It's not fun to hear. Another thing is that my mouse, for some reason, gets picked up as my finger by the Xbox One's touch-sensitive power button in the front. So if I'm scrolling with my mouse around, and the wire somehow grazes the little Xbox symbol on the front of my Xbox One, it'll turn it on. I mean, I'm sure it'll turn on my 360 as well, but I think a lot of people complained about the touch-sensitive power button and the touch-sensitive eject button on the Xbox 360 enough for them to get rid of that touch-sensitive crap. But they still stuck with it, so I don't know why it's still around. But my mouse gets picked up as my finger, my Xbox One turns on, and then it'll take a couple seconds to turn off, and then it goes into low power state where if I say the word Xbox, it'll turn on. I know that's a feature. I like to keep it on when I have it, you know, in standby mode through my own will, but because my mouse kind of messes with it sometimes, I'll just hear and I'll turn it on and off repeatedly depending on what I'm doing. Like if I'm playing Battlefield, I'm moving my mouse around quite a lot, and it'll just hit the Xbox One button over and over and over. So to the fact where I have to push my Xbox One back, and then I tied up my mouse cable so that it's only this long so that I don't have it hit the Xbox One button anymore. Also, the sync buttons for the Xbox One controllers I couldn't figure it out at first. I thought it was touch sensitive and I was just lightly like raising my finger across it. And for some reason, it's not touch sensitive. Every other button on the Xbox One is touch sensitive. I don't know why the side button for syncing your controller isn't. It makes sense that it would be. I don't know what's going on there. I guess, you know, it was an oversight or something like that. Or maybe it was too expensive to include another touch sensor. But it kind of messed me up because I was touching it and it's the same material as the eject button on the front, which is not a button that you can depress. And it's literally a continuation of the same piece of metal, plastic, or whatever it is. And I don't know why they just didn't continue that around. I mean, it makes sense that that would be, you know, touch sensitive as every other button is, but it's not. Every controller on the Xbox One doesn't work the same. I have 3 controllers, or I have had 3, technically speaking, that the D-pad doesn't work very well for games like Killer Instinct, where you're doing quarter circles forward, quarter circle backs, half circles, Z formations for dragon punches and stuff. It doesn't, not all the D-pads register quarter circles. I've had 2 controllers currently. One controller works perfectly fine, works great, nothing's wrong with it. One controller is unusable in the D-pad for Killer Instinct. It just doesn't work for some reason. It just doesn't do it. I don't know why it doesn't register the moves. It registers down, diagonally down, and then like back or, you know, forward, but it just doesn't register the 3 in a row. So I mean, that's another thing. The Xbox One controllers don't seem to be made to the same standard, or at least the D-pads are a little iffy on them. I mean, I have one that works great, but I have also one that doesn't work as well. It's not like the controller's broken. It works perfectly fine. It's just for very, very minute and, I don't know, very time-sensitive things on the D-pad. It doesn't work very well, in a sense. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, subscribe. If you didn't, don't, you know, whatever.